terroir. I'm Simon Jacob, your host for this episode from Jerusalem. Before we get started, I ask that wherever you are, please take a moment and pray for the safety of our soldiers and the safe return of all of our hostages. Welcome back to part 2 of my conversation with Nadav Jesselson, the founder and force behind Anava Vineyards, a place where owning your own vineyard isn't just a dream, it's an invitation to become part of the winemaking journey. In this episode, where the vines meet the sweat of real labor, with reflections on last year's harvest, Nadav takes us behind the scenes, the surprises, the successes, and the moments that tested both patience and precision. And then we look ahead to the upcoming harvest, the predictions, the hopes, and how Anava is preparing its clients and vines for another chapter in the Vineyards story. But this conversation is about more than just grapes. It's about vision. How does a vineyard like Anava evolve without losing its soul? What lessons does the land continue to teach? And how does a winemaker balance consistency with the ever-shifting hand of nature? If you've ever wondered what it feels like to live and breathe wine through the rhythm of the seasons, this is your moment. If you're driving in your car, please focus on the road ahead. If you're at home relaxing, please open a bottle of wonderful kosher wine, sit back, relax, and let's dive into part 2 of our episode with Nadav Jesselson and Anava Vineyards, here on the Kosher Terroir.
Okay, so how many harvests have we gone through?
One.
Tell me a little bit about the harvest. How was the harvest last year? And let's talk about the harvest last year. What sort of varietals did we harvest?
We harvested our what we call the older vineyard, which is it's not old, it's just older. Petit Syrah and Cabernet. The yield was lower than what we wanted.
Yeah, but it was the whole country.
Right.
The whole country was
right. But we have something interesting here, which we're still trying to figure out. Our clusters in the Cabernet are really small. We have a lot, Baruch Hashem, but they're just smaller clusters than usual. So I don't have enough experience to say that, but Avinoam says it. Avinoam, who is, he's the agronomist, he's seen endless. He says the clusters here are small, and I don't know what's going on. He thinks it has to do with a clone, meaning when you have a Cabernet, there's different clones for Cabernet. So he thinks it may do with that this specific clone gives smaller clusters. So again, this year he thinks we're going to be in the same yield as last year, which is 800 kilos per dunam, when we are aiming at 1.5 tons per dunam. So בסדר, נראה, נתמודד עם זה.
Let me ask you a question, Mother. When you get that sort of thing, you also get much more concentration.
I think we spoke about this. One of the best compliments that we got here is that when we signed with Carmel, this was supposed to go to Selected, which is their medium quality, medium level. And we told them at the beginning, before we even planted, I told the guy who signed the contract with me from Carmel, I told him, if the grapes are high quality, I want you to give me a new contract to go up a level, because I knew that if I'm doing it, the best ad sof. And I was sure, after a year or two, we're going to check, and then I'm going to say maybe take it to higher quality. But even before we harvested, came the agronomist from Yatir. He came here for one day. He said, I want to come to see the vineyard. And I said, okay. I thought he was just, touring the vineyards.
Right.
And he sat with me and he said, listen, we want to take the grapes. And I was shocked. These grapes went to Yatir. So that's for us a huge compliment. There was even, I think, a little bit competition between Carmel and Yatir, because Yatir wanted the grapes and Carmel doesn't have enough. They need the grapes. So at the end, Carmel took like 30% of the Petit Syrah and all the rest went to Yatir. So that was the harvest of last year. We harvested machine harvest. It all went to Yatir. It was 2 days, 2 nights. One night was the Cabernet, and one night was the Petit Syrah. I think the Cabernet was before the Petit Syrah. Yeah. The experience, again, it's the first time of the machine harvest is very tough because it's a huge tractor going on your baby, on your vineyard,
Through the middle.
and it's beating him like crazy. And it's you have to calm yourself down because it's all good. It's literally giving birth now. It's taking off the grapes, the fruit. And he's driving there, and I'm going behind him, and I'm looking because he's not taking everything off, and he missed here and he missed there, and it's a crazy night. But Baruch Hashem, at the end it went to Yatir. They're putting it in their darum. We were there already, tasting our wine. We went the Anava team with Yosef and Racheli, who works with us. We went there for a day. We sat with Eran Goldwasser, which is one of the most... Have you met him?
Yeah.
He's one of the most amazing persons. Tzanua, Anav, mamash, kef mamash.
All the real winemakers are all like that.
Madim.
They absolutely 100%.
So that's one of the things that I felt. I'm happy you're saying that because I felt that when I changed careers and I moved here. So the guys I worked with in the business world were also amazing. But here I feel something very special. Some connection, when you ask people questions, they'll always advise you and they'll give you their knowledge, and nobody's holding back and nobody feels like you're
get ahead of me.
Yeah.
You're going to mess me up.
Mamash.
No. They all feel like they're in the same boat.
Not only they feel like we're in the same boat and we have to succeed together.
Yes.
I had a farmer who came here, a very one of the older farmers from the area. He doesn't have vineyards. He has wheat or something like that. But he was so excited to see me, like the younger guy coming and becoming a farmer. And he sat with me. We had, he was giving me advice, and he was so excited. He was so happy, So it was amazing for me. What else about the harvest? So we had 800 kilos per dunam in the Cabernet. We had 1.2 tons in the Petit Syrah. We wanted again to get a little more. I don't know if it was 1.2 or 1.4. Yeah, we're aiming for 1.5, right? So this was 1.4. We took 3 tons, 1 from the Cabernet, 2 from the Petit Syrah for ourselves. And Eyal is making us our wine.
Yep.
We did a barter with Eyal. Basically, we gave him 3 tons, and we're getting some amount of bottles. And then, I was telling you before, we had an event not long ago where we tasted. So first we tasted the wine in Yatir, because in Yatir we want to take a barrel from Yatir in order to have wine of Anava. And so we sat there, only us, and we tasted the wine. And at the end, we're not with enough knowledge. So we said to Eran, "This is good. This is what we think. This is what. Do your magic. Do whatever you want, and make us a barrel, and we'll take the barrel from there, and we'll have Anava wine." I don't remember what he said he's going to do. How much Cabernet and how much Petit Syrah he's going to put. Anyways, our grapes are going there to the Darum, which also he aims. This is how he said it. He aims for the Darum to be, an afternoon wine, right? Meaning it's something more easy, not so heavy.
Lighter. Yeah.
Lighter. And with Eyal, what we had an event lately. It's the first event, I hope, of many more to come, where we sat, and with Eran Gil at the beginning, because he came, schedule issues, so we sat with him alone, but then we sat with the partners of AP and with Menachem and his family, and we sat in the winery, in the Cheder Chaviot, bare room in Agul. And we brought the wine from Yatir, and we brought the wine from Agul, and Eyal gave us, to taste some of the wine from the old barrels and the new barrels, and from Yatir and from his, and we also Shvenu compared. the wine, our Petit Syrah from the mountain, 300 meters, 800 meters, and we tasted them. And we didn't get to the stage where we were starting to do blends. We did a little. Exactly. We did a little, and it was first of all super meragesh.
It is. It's
because we're tasting the wine from this land now. And second of all, was also very knowledgeable because we were, Eyal is a teacher. That's his thing.
Amazing.
That's his thing.
Love it.
So that was an amazing series. The way I imagine it in the future is we can't have 60 people because it's too much, because that's our goal is for 30 in the vintage product and 30 who own a plat. So 60 is a lot, but we're going to have it in small batches in our winery, which is going to take time. Like I said, right now we're going to do it together with Hidai. So we're going to have it there. He's building an amazing winery.
Is your plan to build a winery?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Really going to do that?
Why are you asking?
I don't know.
Eh.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. But I think that Anava has to have a winery.
Where?
In Nechusha. Nechusha is where we live. It's behind.
We pass up.
Exactly. It's right behind the hills there. That's my way home. Apropos the dream. When I drive here from home to work, I look around and say, what am I? Am I betiul? What's going on? Amazing. And I breathe in the cypress trees and the oak, not oak, also the oak. There isn't a winery in Nechusha.
There is or
isn't? There is a small one. Some people doing it for themselves and something small, but not something that invites people in. We were stuck with bureaucracy issues in Nechusha because we already did measurements for a place and then it fell. So we understood we won't be able to do our winery in the near future. So doing with Hidai, actually, for me, it's me'az yatsa matuk. It's perfect because he is amazing. I love his wine. So I hope we're gonna have some.
Varietal we're drinking.
I hope
Question I have.
it's Chardonnay,
Yep.
Chenin Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
All from his vineyard.
Okay.
Mamash. I also helped him the harvest. I took his grapes to Yaakov Uriah. He makes his wine in Yerucham with Yaakov. Yeah. We are planting. I didn't say that we're planting another vineyard. 11 dunams. More to that direction, to the east. And Yosef was driving crazy. Let's do Argaman. What do you think of the Argaman?
It's a very challenging variety, but people now really understand how to deal with it, I believe.
Challenging growing or making wine?
Making wine for it.
It has amazing color.
Unbelievable.
So what's the challenge?
The challenge is not that. The challenge is making wine that is drinkable. And now there are people who are making single varietal argamans, like in Jezreel. They make a single varietal argaman.
I didn't know.
Nobody would have ever thought to do something.
So Yosef said this is the next varietal. You have to do it. You have to plant it.
Tonight, I think this.
Again, we're planting Carignan and Grenache.
Well, Carignan and Grenache are both really special. Really.
Eyal Dori and Eran Goldwasser. They both. I asked them both separately. It was amazing. They answered the same question. I told them, what should I plant? Carignan and Grenache.
Yes. Why? Carignan is
Mediterranean.
big, bold, crazy, and Grenache, you can make it whatever you want to make it, but it's really special.
Right.
I'm.
So at the end, we're going to have here 12 varieties.
Right. What are your 27 that you have left? Like, what are the pots that are left?
For varieties?
Yeah.
We have Cabernet. The private plots are Cabernet, Shiraz, Malbec, and Petit Verdot. And you pick which one you want. 2 of the Cabernet are taken out of 14. Most is Cabernet. Obviously. and one of the Shiraz is taken by Menachem. Beside that, we have Cabernet Franc, Petit Syrah, and Merlot. That's our reds, 7 reds. Then we have 3 whites: Chenin Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc, and Chardonnay. At the end, I want.
Tell me again, which ones?
The whites,
Chenin Blanc,
Sauvignon Blanc, and Chardonnay.
Chenin Blanc is going to be the.
So somebody called me now if I want more Chenin Blanc. I said, more to plant, because he planted. I told him no. He said, listen, you've done very good for yourself that you planted Chenin Blanc, because it's why do you say this? It's like a hype. It's what?
No, it's because it's
amazing.
It's amazing.
I love it. I love it. And he said that it was very hard for him. He said it was very hard for him to he planted in the Mizrach Hagush in Pnei Kedem, I think. Just for the fun, he planted his own vineyard. And he said Chenin Blanc is hard to get.
It's going to be, because a number of wineries are trying to produce Chenin Blanc.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
So, people are going towards white wines, and it's one of the ones that's like,
right,
very flavorful.
Yeah, you have it here too, right? Yeah, that's where he planted that Chenin Blanc, 12%.
Yeah,
mostly Chardonnay. He has all kinds of different ones.
People are going away from Chardonnay, but I'm a sucker for a great Chardonnay. No, you're a sucker for a California Chardonnay, right? It's malolactic, buttery. Oh yeah, what hang? But that is a group of people who are in the past, unfortunately. I happen
calling you a dinosaur.
No, I happen to love that. I happen to love it. I think it's going to come back that way. But a lot of people want acid and crisp and what have you, and they don't want this buttery Chardonnay anymore. And it's pity. I love it, but it became such a big thing in California, the buttery Chardonnay, that it blew out everything else, and now it's coming back. The pendulum is swinging the other way.
Amazing.
It's not even swinging; it's swung.
Listen, what we want to do is again, allow people to have a feeling that they're walking into like a playground of varieties, and now do whatever you want. You have your own plot, but you don't have to use the grapes. So, for instance, Iran, Menachem, when he came, he immediately knew what he wanted. He wanted Shiraz. And it's perfect, because he loves Shiraz. He's going to make Shiraz a year or two. But if there's a year where he says, let's make whites this year. His plot stays his plot, and he's taking the whites, and we're swapping.
The swap. That's beautiful. It's such a great idea. I'm telling you. No, it's such a great idea to be able to do that. It's not the economics aren't one in which you're doing this because this is the cheapest way to get a bottle of wine. Okay? That's not the economics that you're trying to do. What you're trying to do here is create a legacy for your family and your kids. If you don't believe in your family and your kids, then, pass. This isn't about...
but your kids, all of them love wine?
No, but a lot of them do. This is one of them that does. There's 9 of us, so you can. He's the only one left in her, but I told you, his son is my eldest grandson is his son.
How many grandsons do you have in the army now?
No, only one.
One.
First.
He's the first.
You're the oldest. Are starting his yeshiva. I'm not the oldest son, but I have the oldest grandson.
He has the oldest grandson, and there's a whole slew of grandsons that are right behind that are all starting Hester Yeshiva now. And
I'm happy they're going in now and not a year ago.
I know, me too.
I told my son, my son is 14, okay? But I told him, איתן, עכשיו עושים לך את העבודה, אתה תהיה בצבא, ויהיה לך שקט. For me, it was quiet. I came in after מבצע חומת מגן. I don't know if you remember, it was after, there was a terrible terrorist attack in Pesach, ליל הסדר in Netanya. And then I think it was 2001 or something like that, because I enlisted in 2002. And after that, Sharon went in with Mivtza, Chomat Magen. They went into Jenin, everywhere they went in. A lot of soldiers were killed. And then we came in, And it was my shirut, my garment was relatively quiet. Wow, who knows for how long?
Yeah, that's the whole. We've taken on Iran successfully, please God.
Yeah,
Should be
quiet.
Yeah,
Because you have to finish with Gaza.
some of us. But what they were doing was to kill all of us. That's the thing that's out of this.
I had my brother-in-law in Shabbos. He was at our house, and he's Kabbali. I offered maybe you should also, if you want to. He has a very small winery in Kida.
Yeah.
You know where Kida is?
Yeah, it's called Kida.
No, his wine is called Tur Malka. Because it's
Does he speak English?
yes.
Okay. I would love to.
So I think, do you go there? You drive there?
Not everywhere.
Perfect. So go to Kida, sit in his winery, taste his wines.
Wait a second. I was just next to Kida. Kida is
Shiloh.
next to Shiloh.
Right.
No, but I know exactly where Kida is because I pass it. I passed it about 5 times. Because I go to what you call it?
Adead, Esh Kodesh.
Kodesh. I go to Esh Kodesh and I go across. And sometimes to get to Shiloh, the better way is to go past the back road.
So Eyal, I think you'll enjoy very much because he also learns, is super smart. He learns Kabbalah. He does the wine. Anyways.
The podcast should cover the Kabbalah, like the.
No, probably not. But
sometimes you do. Yeah.
I did. I've done a podcast with Mikubalim on it, talking about wine.
really,
By Tu B'Shvat.
Yeah, but Tu B'Shvat. I
Amazing.
made a whole podcast with the Mukubal.
amazing.
From what
You learned in Betel, right? Right down there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I still am close to the rabbi there.
Who's the rabbi there today?
Rav Yisrael Avichai is the Tamid Mufchat of Rav Getz. So it's like praising. It's very special.
Wow. So my brother-in-law said that apropos the wars and everything, he said, Hashem דוחף אותנו עכשיו בכוח. אומר לנו, תתעוררו, משהו. קיצור, we had the endless events that we're going through. And I don't want to even imagine what's next. What's in the next season? We've been through the corona, the מלחמת אחים almost, the רפורמה משפטית, and now this war, which is not ending. And Kitzel, we spoke about that on Shabbos.
My daughter is a Mialedet. She was down in Soroka working.
Wow.
I saw the picture of the missile landing in Soroka. The violence of the shock wave coming off of it was that it was visible. It was just like this incredible shock wave that came off of this hospital. It could have killed thousands of people, literally thousands of people.
And not one.
Not one.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You can't see Kadosh Baruch Hu. Then I'm sorry, like if you have to leave and go to Cyprus or leave and go someplace else, God bless you, go, because you can't ask for more proof than what we're seeing.
No, you can go. God bless you, and you're getting off the train. This is the train. This is the history train. I had a friend. This was in the previous season when the Reforma and the endless. And the endless voting, endless bchirot. And I spoke to a guy who was very, he's high in the business world. He's high in the business world of private equity and stuff like that. And I spoke to him, and he was depressed from the last results of the elections. And I told him, so what do you think of the elections? And he said, terrible. We are seriously considering to leave. And this guy, his father was high up in the defense industry, very, very shoshi, very, not stam. And I was shocked. And I told him, that I had the courage to say, I said, but that if you leave, you're getting off the train. And he looks at me, and he knew exactly what I meant. And he said, yeah, I know. So I was, okay, if you want, if this is too tough for you, then very hard. Then you could get off the train. You get off the train. That's it.
Last question. Because we've actually covered all the questions that I basically had about varietals and what have you. Is there anything you've learned from the varietals that you've had so far that have been harvested that might change your direction?
No, not changing my direction, but I've learned from the last harvest and from growing, seeing them grow, that the Cabernet is strong.
Really?
Grows is a tough one. Grows. He starts. He started later than the Petit Syrah to wake up, but in a few days or a week or two, he grew and he outdid the Petit Syrah endless. You could think it's two different trees almost, because you see how many leaves he has. Come on, it's called Nuf, right? Nuf gadol mod. He grows and grows. If we didn't stop him, also he would continue to grow. What I mean, we stopped him. I said like that exactly, pruning the top. It's called in Hebrew kitum. You're cutting the top of the shoots of the branches. That we did with volunteers from the Golani. Was amazing. In 1 hour, they finished everything. And we also did it with we had a few groups here. That's actually a nice story. One of the groups that we have here regularly is from Zoharim. Zoharim is Kfar Zoharim. It's a Kfar Noir for youth in the other side of the road. I think I told you about this. That this is Rav Grossman, who established this for Haredi kids who either were kicked out of the house or not kicked out of the house, but can't find
an extension of their what you call it.
Where?
They have Migdal.
Migdaloz. No, Migdal Oz is the Gush. Migdal HaEmek. What is it called? Migdal Or, I think, maybe.
Or is what it's called. Yes.
And they're also for Haredi girls or boys?
No, boys and girls. It's a whole community.
So they have it here.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yosef is one of their alumni. It's called Boger.
Alumni, yeah.
Alumni. Yosef is one of the alumni.
Yosef is?
Yosef.
Wow.
And Shneo, which is another guy who worked here, and he's now in the Lota, which is a very special unit in the army, and he comes here sometimes, and he very connected to the place. Anyways, they have in their one of the projects that they have in the, how do you call it, Kfar Noah, youth village? It's called a youth village. They have one of the projects there is called Bait Bagiv'ah, meaning a few guys that either are addicted to something, doesn't matter what, or need time out from the regular schedule. They leave every time, just like 6 or 8 guys. They go out of the dorm and they go to a separate house far away. Not far away, it's the same compound, but just a little bit to the end. And twice a week they come to work here. And what we do with them is we go through an educational process, meaning every job they'll do here, we're connecting it to something in their life, to something that has to do with their inner growth. So that's what they did here. So for instance, when they worked here, we said sometimes you grow and it's going well, but you have to put on some brakes. You have to stop yourself, because the Cabernet is growing and growing and growing, and you're saying, okay, but don't forget the fruit, because you're giving your energy to create new leaves, which is amazing. But don't forget the fruit. Don't forget the matara, the tachlit. So that's why you're cutting the top. So that's so we talked to them before, and then they go work, and that's been actually a very amazing, a great project for this year. Again, the Miluim I had the first project that came here, I met them once. The second one a few times. And so because of the Miluim in and out, we didn't have, but we had 3 rounds here of these guys, because they come every time for 40 days only. So we had 3 rounds here. It was amazing. When I spoke to the first group, I told them, okay, give me feedback. They said to me, give us more work. That's the feedback. Meaning they were into it. So that was very happy with that. So the Petit Syrah, so first of all, you see the Cabernet, that's really strong. The Petit Syrah, she has something very gentle. That's why I love her a little, not more, but it's very, very gentle. It grows, much less leaves, grows slower. It starts earlier, but לאט לאט הוא מתקדם. On one side, and the other side, it's already in bochal. It changed its color.
Changing colors.
And the clusters, the difference in the clusters, it's again, that's also amazing. The petit syrah, it's dense. It's like Avinoam said, he compares it to it's like a corn. You know, every grape is stuck to the other one, squished to the other one, and it has different shapes. Also, it's not the regular triangle. And the Cabernet, the grapes are more loose. They are connected to each other, but they're more loose, and it's more triangles. One of the challenges with the petit syrah, because it's dense, right? Dense is close to each other, right? So one of the challenges is that you don't want to water it too much, because then it bursts inside the cluster, and sometimes you won't even see it, but then it starts
mildew.
Mildew is what, rikavon?
Yeah, it becomes like
It starts fermentation.
Oh,
no, that's rikavon. How do you say rikavon? Rot. It starts to rot.
That's what it can be, almost like the fungus that goes.
Yeah, it's a fungus. Mamash. So Avinoam, for instance, now he saw the grapes. He said, "Okay, let's lower down the pace of watering, of irrigation." So I'm very. One of the things that I experience here is it's hard for me is that this place, you think that it brings calmness, brings something very peaceful. People that come here say this is special energy here. There's something very calm, very very settled. But when I'm here,
when you have to be responsible for that calmness, it's a different story.
Exactly. So I was saying,
Singularly.
Exactly. Mamash kacha. Even when I come to daven here or come to meditate, I can't. I'd rather do it at home, because when I'm here, every point I look, okay, what's with that tree? Why is that like that? What's with that? Oh, right, I have to do that. It's hard. So anyways, I'm קצת לחוץ. I'm pressured with the fact that we're not watering we are continuing, but much less now for the petit syrah,
Right.
in order for the grapes not to burst. So we're going to take it down a notch. With the Cabernet, the opposite. We're getting it more water.
Yeah.
We're doing once a week. We're doing a measurement. It's called talachatz. How would you say that in English?
Pressure. It's
You know the thing that they do?
no. I don't know.
Pressure. How would you call it? They take a leaf.
Yes.
There's a guy here. You see the car over there. That's the guy's name is. It's funny. His name is Amit Sorek. So everything has to do with the vineyard. Sorek, right? Sorek is the vineyard. So he comes here early in the morning, Sunday. He covers the leaves with a special bag. It's not like a special bag. You could also cover it with this tin foil. Just, that's what I did when I didn't have he has special bags, but I used to cover it with tin foil in order for the leaves to think that they are in the dark.
Yeah.
And then they close their pioniot pores. You close the pores.
And then they aspirate.
And then basically any water that they have in them, that's what they have, because they're not evaporating the water, right? And he comes back after 2 hours. That's why he's here now. He takes every leaf. He cuts the. It's called the ptoteret. I used to call givol, the thing that leads to the leaf.
Yes.
What is that called?
The stem.
The stem. He takes the stem. He puts it in something that does very high pressure. Some atmospheres, I don't know, very very high pressure. And then he measures when a drop of water comes out. He has a special machine here. He puts it in, and in the number where the drop of water comes out, in the number of pressure, he knows how much water the tree has. So he does, like a statistic approach. He goes all over, takes a few here, a few there. And that's how we measure if the vineyard is thirsty or not. So that's how we know for the Cabernet that we need to add water. So we added water. Friday was the first time we added another cube for Duna, and in the Petit Syrah we lowered the water actually. So that's my experience with the two varieties, the Petit Syrah and the Cabernet, which are actually very different. But it's going to be super interesting to see, because we have one of the communal vineyard, which we have for the varieties, for the blends, for the if you're missing any grapes. So we have there one vineyard split to Cabernet Franc, Petit Syrah, and Merlot. And then you're going to start seeing the differences inside. That's going to be very, very interesting, I think. We're going to see that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Thank you for all the time.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for the 2 cents. And we should talk more.
Yep.
Wine and unity. I don't know if we spoke about this last time, but wine is unity. That's why you weren't allowed to drink with non-Jews in the diaspora. Because you're not allowed, because if you drink wine, you can drink a whiskey, you can drink a beer with them, but if you drink wine with them, it connects you. And it connects, so that's Ben Adam לחברו, מקרב. Ben Adam לעצמו, because נכנס יין, that's asod, meaning you're connecting to yourself also. I remember when I did a course with WSCT, that's around, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, that was my first experience in understanding that there are different tastes in wine, and that when you drink wine, you have to be mindful. You can't just drink it. You have to, connect to yourself, to what you're feeling, to what you're tasting. So that's connecting to yourself, and then there's connecting to the land also.
Yes, that's כוונה.
ממש.
Yes, that...
והוא אחדות בינך לבין עצמך, אחדות בינך לבין חברך, and אחדות בינך לבין הארץ. Because what you're drinking here is different from what you're drinking there. זה מדהים. Wow. I told my parents, I tell them all the time, I told this in the last podcast also, I think, or the one before. It's the 3rd time already. I said, I tell my parents, thank you so much for making Aliyah for me. זה באמת מתנה that they gave me.
It's a very big deal.
Okay.
It's a very big deal. All right.
Baruch Hashem, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Tודה.
All right.
Wow, I tried to surprise you, you surprised me.
This is Simon Jacob again, your host of today's episode of the Kosher Terroir. I have a personal request. No matter where you are or where you live, please take a moment to pray for our soldiers' safety and the safe and rapid return of our hostages. Please subscribe via your podcast provider to be informed of our new episodes as they are released. If you're new to the Kosher Terroir, please check out our many past episodes.